for the industry. Presented by Mocha Group.
Hello.
And you're meant to do. And we are live.
Yeah, it's been a while, guys. It's been a while since we've done a live lockdown. Had to put my lippy on. We are in my dad's house, hence our beautiful background of the blue wardrobe right here.
Yes, so lovely.
So, thank you so much for joining us for our first of many for the industry series. Jared, do you want to tell the people what For the Industry is?
Well, before Stevie and Bernie get on, For the Industry is about 4 questions in 30 minutes of power, talking to industry leaders about the journey, how they navigate it.
Good, precise, to the point.
That's what I'm here for, baby. That's what I'm here for.
For those of you who don't know us, I am Chereine. I am the online editor for Mocha, and this is Jared, the GM, general manager, just in case. Also my husband, hence why we can sit this close and it's not awkward. So we are, that was good English. We are Stevie and Bernie. I've got a blurb here, guys. Got a blurb, and then we'll get you guys on. No, let me do the blurb.
Okay, all right.
Because some people may not know them. I don't think that's possible.
Okay, sure.
All right, so Power Duo. They are winners of the best collab. Stevie English and Bernadette Beswick. Hope I said that right, Bernie. For those of you who don't know Stevie, which I don't think is possible because everyone knows Stevie because he's a legend, 3 times Australian Colourist of the Year, owner of Stevie English Hair. They did my hair, although it's grown out a little bit, so don't judge that. Creative director of Evo and artistic director of Eco Heads. Whoop whoop. Then we have Bernie, also a bloody legend. Those two together, that's a bloody hoot. That's all I'm going to say. Getting more bogan as I talk.
All right.
It's because we're in the South Coast.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Current Victorian Hairdresser of the Year, founder of Beswick Education, also the exceptional hairdresser, and ambassador for O&M. Whoop, whoop.
Delightful.
Let's get them on.
All right, view request.
Oh, are you at Stevie's, babe? There he is.
Oh, yeah, Stella.
Well, that just made that heaps easier.
How delightful.
How are you both?
Hello, you alright?
Hello, I'm alright, thanks.
All right.
Are you guys ready for our game before we start?
Sure.
I think so.
There's a game, yeah, okay.
We love a game, yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
All right, so we have a yellow item right here. Don't show them.
It's down there.
Yeah, and it's not that.
Duck.
Sorry.
It's not over here.
And you have 1 minute. We'll give you clues, and the goal for you guys is to guess what the yellow item is. Are we ready, guys?
Okay, yep, go.
Yep.
Getting the timer ready.
I got the timer.
Oh, that's fun.
Here we go. Let's see who wins out of the two of you. This can be a nice little competition.
Okay, are we ready? 1
Let's
minute.
go.
3, 2, 1. Go, ask questions.
No,
Oh.
Okay, start
Does
again.
it float?
All right. Ready. You got to ask questions.
Okay.
And they got to guess.
Oh my God. Hopeless. We're going to tell you, it is round.
Okay, I'm going.
It is wiggly. It
Oh.
has 2 textures. You'll find it, I mean, you could make it, but you generally buy it.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
So delicious.
It has a crunchy
So,
out.
a mango.
Ooh. No. I like where your head's at.
No,
Colourblind.
Yeah, all right, okay.
it is edible though. It is edible.
Yeah.
It has like freckle looking things on the top.
Mm. What's
Again,
that?
A pineapple?
Yeah.
oh, you said that.
Let's go with more processed.
Oh yeah, definitely not healthy, not good for you.
Not healthy, not fresh.
But is edible.
Edible.
Oh,
You may-
God.
11 seconds. You may find it in a bakery.
Yes, that's
And
it.
it is sweet.
A
Go.
fish
What?
bun,
A Boston bun? Custard roll?
a cream caramel. No, what-
No, no. Jared,
Portuguese tart.
Right. Yeah.
and now I just wanted to put that on so he can eat it.
I was going to eat it.
Let's jump in, guys, because we've only got 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask because Jared is on it. So you two, let's start at the beginning. How did you meet? How did this relationship, creative affair?
Oh, that's
Yeah, you go.
Yeah,
you go.
okay. Well, I'm starting because I actually, 4 years ago when I first formed my brand, I thought about who were some key people that I wanted to meet in the industry. So Stevie was the first person that I thought of. I didn't know him. I'd never met him before. And I came into his salon right here, actually where we're sitting. And just started off by having a bit of a chat, and Stevie asked me questions about, you know, kind of what I was doing with education. And really from there, everything just organically formed, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
I think anyone who knows Bernadette knows how tenacious she is, and I think that after our first meeting, I don't think what I signed up for, and all of a sudden I was colouring all her dolls and all that. It's pretty.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, well, salon, and I did first of all some. I will tell you though, I think for anybody listening, if you've ever kind of like got an inclination about something, and if something holds you back, just don't hold back. You know, always go forward, because you never know what can happen. And what's the worst thing that can happen is nothing. But if you do it, then you know absolutely nothing will ever happen. So. I came in and taught the team retail sales, but I want to say I've never told Stevie this. I secretly thought I would absolutely love to teach them haircutting.
Yeah.
And now that happened as well. So, you know, never know.
Can I just add a quick little extra question? What were your first impressions of each other?
First impressions. Lovely, bubbly, tenacious.
You're not of yourself, buddy.
That's you know, but it's true. It was just I think that ability, what B just said there about coming in and not caring and having a crack is kind of what B did, and I guess that impression lasted.
Yeah. What I loved about Stevie then is what I love about him now. I think I really love what he's wrote about us, and that was that we are the yin and the yang. I just loved his, you know, his look. He actually, apart from the way, you know, Stevie just has this incredible aura, and I think I love the way that he can be insanely creative, but then so sensible on the opposite side as well. So, you know, it's
sensible.
True. Yes. Yeah.
I don't think anyone has ever told you as sensible.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I like the fact that I'm sensible.
Yes, you are sensible.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we cut to you guys have met, how did you then start working together? Because that's a big jump.
Yeah.
For most people.
I think what it was Bernie was teaching these haircuts on these dolls, and actually there's one here, right? And
Love a prop.
Oh,
it's this yellow thing.
Yeah.
And I would see Bernie, because as we all know, Bernie's fantastic on Instagram and posts a lot, but the hair wasn't coloured, and I was like, oh, I'll colour that.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Yeah, and it was just totally weird, because never in my wildest dreams, another kind of thing to talk about, and never did I ever think that Stevie would say that. And I can still remember right now being on my phone and checking my inbox, and he sent me a message saying, hey B, do you want me to colour your dollars? And I'm like, oh my God, Stevie English just asked if we'd colour my dollars. And we bought them in here, and I think the first lot that we did, we had about $15. Remember?
Yeah, that was a big couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely bit off more than I could chew that time.
He didn't stop.
logistically, you guys are in different states, right? So
Yeah.
how does as well? Because obviously most people would think it would be easier to do, if I'm going to collab with someone who's in my own state. But you chose not to do that. So how'd you get around that?
Just got on the plane.
Yeah,
All right.
Bernie does send me up dolls as well. I'll get a package every sort of 6 weeks, and there'll be a couple new haircuts. Can you colour these, please?
Yeah.
And then we sort of have that conversation of what have we done recently in terms of, I know a doll in the post, Jared, I saw you smirk. It's fine. Yeah, we talk about what colour. And I always think the doll should be as bright as possible, purely because it shows technique. Because then we can change the brightness down for classes or for people. But actually, by having high tone and high visibility, it actually makes it much easier to teach from a haircut point of view, but also from a colour point of view as well.
Yeah, and Jared, you know what? I wasn't being silly by saying I jumped on a plane. Like, sometimes you've just got to do what you have to do. So if it means, you know, coming interstate and flying here to do some amazing work together, then you always just do what you got to do to make it happen.
So the question looks at, like, if someone's looking at doing a collab with someone, how, like, what's the best? What are the pieces of the pie that they should be looking at in terms of doing a collab with someone?
I mean, I would say just do it, but I guess you want to. I mean, I guess we stay in our lanes. And I think if you're going to collaborate with someone, and Chereine maybe, because for you guys that don't know, Chereine does a lot of our makeup for a lot of our shoots.
For them
So,
first.
Yeah. You know, but I think, you know, like if you were to have two high-end makeup artists working and you might have slightly different visions, that makes it hard. But then I guess if someone was just on lips and you were just on eyes, it makes it easy. And I think us being in our lanes in terms of B cuts and styles and eye colour, it makes it easy to collaborate and not step on each other's toes. Not that I think we would, but you don't want to see me with a pair of scissors in my hands.
And, you know, Jared, it's an amazing question, because I think just added to that is that, you know, you can collaborate with anybody, but it has to be the right person, because otherwise it just will never work. And I can honestly say, I think I speak for us both here, that there's never been a time where we've overridden each other's thoughts. You know, I'll say to Stevie, what do you think about that? And he goes, yeah, that's great. And, you know, he'll do the same sort of thing. So, yeah, it's just always, I think, feeling, I can say the word for me, feeling really kind of safe and natural. You can be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you should never feel like,
it's a very safe work environment, Miss Stevie English Hair. We don't care what you are, who you fuck. We're very safe. It's all good.
We have no beeper.
And who won? Fuck.
Now, I think it's quite interesting from my perspective, because I've obviously worked with you, Stevie, long before you were with Bernie, and Bernie, I've worked with you long before you were with Stevie. And I think seeing how you both brought a whole new element to each other's work, particularly in your collections, and you've won awards for all these collections as well, which definitely is worth noting. How do you feel you both have kind of elevated each other's style and technique and vision?
I think that because we both come from a place of we want to do the coolest hair, but we want it to look like hair. And I think that's where our vision in terms, and I have, I look at some of this hair that a lot of these great hairdressers are producing, and I have no idea where they start. But I want to see hair on heads that looks like something that could walk in my salon or could walk out of my salon. And I think that we're both aligned in that space of cool cut, cool colour. And so I think that's where the sort of maybe the synergy is for both of us.
Right.
And also we want to see beauty, right? We want to see, like, you know, hot people wearing hot hair.
Yeah. And I was saying today, actually, because we had a bit of an education meeting today as well about our classes. And, you know, sometimes we'll do a really tough haircut, or I'll do a tough haircut, and Stevie will oppose that with a really pretty colour, you know, or the opposite, like a simple classic cut, like a beautiful bob. In our No Vacancy collection, and look at that colour that Stevie did. So, you know, like the yin and the yang, even of cut and colour, it works really well.
Do you go to, like, how does that work in terms of process?
Who starts and who?
Yeah, like, does Bernie, do you come to Stevie and go, I'm thinking of doing this this cool bob, Stevie, I want you to color it. Do you then color it and then Bernie, you cut it? Like, what's that kind of process?
Shoots or for mannequins? Because there's a slightly different process.
Oh, go on, tell us both.
Well, for shoots, we have a lot of boards. Like there'll be a lot of, I think, toing and froing through Instagram images of, do you like this? Do you like that? What about this? What about that? And I would say that, you know, there are plenty of times B will send something to me and I will say, yeah, that's rad. And there'll be times when I say, I like it, but what about this? And vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think that is the, and then we just pin them all, if that makes sense. So we have, and then we see what we like and where that comes into.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really think that our shoot ideas come from that, and all the saved stuff we have on Instagram.
And we actually do it daily, don't we?
Yeah,
Probably driving crazy half the time because I'm.
That is true. I think I answer about every fourth. From the B.
with one word.
Yeah, well, yeah, no. Like, oh, that's hot. Yeah, like, yeah.
But today, I saw them saved on his phone.
Yeah, I keep them. Like I'm you know, I'm not as proactive on the gram as B is. That's all.
I'm a thought.
Process between doll's head and shoot.
Generally, B will cut the doll's head first. And then I just look at it and create, I guess.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
Usually the haircuts for dollies for classes.
I normally cut first and then...
Yeah, colour.
Not always, mostly.
Not always, yeah. It could be either way, really. I mean, you know, I guess maybe bringing it back to a salon situation because you don't always have that preference either. So sometimes you got to cut before you colour. Sometimes you got to colour before you cut. So I get prepared for...
Yeah, we were talking today about classes and about how, because again, we like shape and form, both in cut and colour. And so we're talking about, you know, what was that halo bob you were showing? Was that the one today?
Yeah.
And how, what colour would go with that. So I'm looking at that form and then sort of designing a colour to go with that. Yeah. Dark to light, knowing how that will fall on the head, know how B will wrap that brush around to create that shape. But yeah.
Yeah, it is really interesting because no matter how many times we pull up something different, I think that's what I love. There's always another idea. It's never the same.
Yeah. How long would you prep your training mannequins?
Okay, do you mean the styling?
Good question.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll give answers. So, yeah, dolly head for a class takes a long time. Cut and colour can be pretty much 4 hours. And then the blow dry takes about an hour.
Yeah.
I'll be really working that doll's head to make it just perfect.
Yeah. Remember they're dollies. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. How important was entering awards for you guys in terms of establishing this duo and I guess creating what is now become a brand, which we'll talk about in like 5 or 10 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. There's never
30
enough
minutes
time.
of power. 30 minutes of power.
Timekeeper. But talk about the power of kind of, I guess, entering awards and why people, and if people should be doing that.
Yes, people should be doing that. I think I'm in the most obvious sense, I'm not Stevie English without the industry's recognition in terms of what I've done. So, I mean, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? For me, by shooting, and I've got better and better and better at it, but by shooting, that has given me a platform. Or the better I did over the years, and it has been years of shooting, I think I've been entering awards like 17 or 18 years, and it's only in the last 2016 I won my first award, but you know, and I probably started in 2005, so I did 11 years of drought.
I think that's people to hear that though too, that it's not just an immediate win all the time.
Yeah, I had to learn that. Like I had to learn my craft, my 100,000 hours on the salon floor, colouring hair, I had to learn that craft as well. But also, I just the final answer to your question before I get into us as the collaboration with it is that then attracted brands to me. I guess that's why I was attracted then in terms of that helped give me other jobs, that helped my book look better in terms of my written submission force. So it's like, again, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And it's that real process of gradually doing it. And I definitely did some terrible. I look back at some of the shoots I did, and they're not very good.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I want to say for me, starting to shoot was terrifying. Right. So, and for everybody to hear that as well, because obviously I've been hairdressing for quite a while, and I always wanted to, but I
How long
never.
have you been hairdressing?
You don't need to.
Okay.
So I always wanted to, and I knew that I technically had it, but I really didn't even know the process. It was really Stevie that gave me the confidence just to say, just have a go and let's do it. So it is another learning process. It's different to what you do in the salon, and entering the awards in AHIA, like that has been the absolute highlight to my entire career so far. And I have to say I'm now addicted to shooting.
Oh, very good. Yeah, no, it's
Good addiction to have.
It's a good too.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's just such a great creative outlet that's very different to the salon work that we do.
Yeah.
And even though when we're trying to create, so what in our last shoots, we're trying to create something that is very salon friendly, it still has that edge that is, not everyone's going to come in the salon and ask for it. But there's definitely a vibe that it could walk out of your salon,
Yeah. And, the last two collections that we've shot have been with Andrew O'Toole, and it's just been, Andrew is such a great mentor. So it's not just us as creatives, it's having that outside
it's
mentor.
your whole team.
Your whole team, yeah.
Having a great photographer, a great makeup artist, a great stylist, the team behind you, and you, Jared, don't worry, we love you. No, the team behind you, you're only as good as the weakest link, or it's everything. So it's getting that team that you like, trust, and support. I want around you. That's what works.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, you look at someone like O'Toole and you talk to that, and the wealth of experience that human has, and the generosity he has, and the skill set that man has is just astonishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He is a genius. I think we can all sort of say. So
yeah, and he's also just so invested.
But so humble and nice.
Yeah, he wants the best for you every single time, and make something what you thought you would look one way, sort of uses the progressive approach to go into something else. So
and I think, obviously he shoots with us and he shoots with lots and lots of people, but I have no doubt that he gives the same energy to everybody.
Yeah.
So it's
he
pretty.
must speak sauce.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. He's a pretty exceptional person. So.
Guys, lots of love on the chat. Lots of love.
Lots of love.
I feel like time is always against us, but what we'd love to, I guess, we talked about awards, and obviously you guys have smashed it with your last three collections in terms of Victorian Hairdresser of the Year, Colorist of the Year, Collab of the Year. You guys had a cracker 2022 is all I'm going to say. So because I don't know if people know, but if you saw our post today, you guys have formed CNC. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but talk to us about how that has come about on the back end of just you guys meeting and then shooting and then doing collections, and now you're venturing down into education and branding.
Yeah, I think I'll start, but I think that the idea of doing cool cut and color is where it's really pivotal. And when we were a part of our main goal when we were shooting was I wanted to do cool color, but we had to make sure that it represented for Bernie's brand in terms of haircuts.
Yeah.
And then when we were looking and talking in the market, and again, no disrespect to absolutely anyone else who's doing fantastic work, but all I see is lived-in blondes. And I know a lot of our market is that, but I don't want to see lived-in blondes, really. I want to see cool cut, and then we didn't see there was no one offering that, and so we decided, why don't we do that?
Exactly. And you know, since Stevie started colouring the dolls, the students just absolutely love it, and the bread and butter of every salon survival is cut and colour. So, you know, forming our brand, which Stevie came up with the names, pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it. Everybody dance now.
Yeah, we want you guys to be doing cool cut and colour. I guess that's the greatest thing, and to come to the classes and have fun and, you know, be adventurous and really learn about cut and shape and amazing colour, and just have the exact same success as what we've had.
Yeah. And in terms of showing what Bernie can do in a haircut, in terms of graduation, in terms of creating a line, I can actually show that in colour, and actually using really simple techniques that I use on the salon floor to make money. And it doesn't have to be in yellows and oranges. It can be in your biscuit browns, your coppers, your blondes. But it designs colour for your client, and you bespokes it for them. And really, that's what's worked for me as a hairdresser for quite a lot of years. Not quite as many as B, only just.
Oh, as well.
People are asking if you're going to Bernadette in the class.
What's that?
Sorry?
Are you going to sing and dance in the class? There's a question.
Sure.
Possibly.
You know, yeah. Buy a ticket? Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for money.
Yeah. I'll keep my clothes on though, if that's okay. No one wants to see that.
Okay.
Tucking on the CNC factory, we're also doing business education as well in that. So I'm going to do a segment on communication, servicing clients, retail sales, and Stevie, you're going to do?
I'm going to do, I guess, talking about KPIs, how to run a salon, a profitable salon, because it's not just about having a job for me. I have 16 staff, and I've got 15 years of experience in that space as well. So man management, how to run a successful meeting, all of those sort of things that are sort of cornerstones really to Stevie English Hair and my brand.
Can I say, before meeting you in person, Stevie, this was a long time ago. I had a perception of you, which was that you were.
This is dangerous.
My perception of you was incorrect, but my perception of you was that you were quite standoffish and a little bit arrogant.
Wow.
After
Tell us what you really think, Chereine.
But what was impressive is that after sitting with you after a shoot one day, hearing you communicate with your staff, with your team, with how the love and affection you have for people, it kicked me right in the guts, and it was so good. It was the best misconception I've ever had, and I value that hugely, because when I look at your staff who you have, they're awesome people, and they speak very highly of you. Bernie, I don't know, I can't comment, but I'm sure they love you too. I never thought so. That's different.
Yeah, my staff love B.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said all my staff love B.
Yeah, we just did a haircut. We will pin it up on Insta after
Yeah.
you say. Well, Jared, you know how you just said that? That was what I meant when I first came to meet Stevie, that there's this kind of really creative, crazy side, but then there's this side that's just such the opposite, that one complements the other. I'm giving you a rap.
I've been told I'm sensible. I thought I was arrogant.
But like 1 minute, we've only got 1 minute to go to the end. True. Yeah.
Look, I guess, you only want to work with like-minded individuals, and I'm really fortunate to work with the best people around, and you don't continue to work with people if you don't like them and you don't enjoy the experience. So Bernie's still around. I feel, but mate,
Yeah.
very, very lucky.
We do have a saying, but we won't say it here.
Yes.
No, probably not.
Well, I can say it.
No, don't.
But I just, it's a saying actually. Linda has, once I wrote a thing on Hairbiz for this, and life's too short, right, to be a see you next Tuesday, okay? I just wasn't going to say it live on the chat, just in case any Americans are there. That's all. For us Australians, it's fine, but no Americans. But life's too short, mate. So we keep that.
It's a rule.
Tell people what's the process if people want to book into the class? You're
When's the
doing
classes?
Perth and Melbourne.
Do you know the date, Steve?
No,
I'm only joking.
Oh, I was about to say. No, I don't. I know it's this weekend,
He
actually.
knows nothing about it. I will tell you
I just rock
exactly
up.
where to go. Yeah. So we have this Sunday and Monday, the 2nd and 3rd of October in Melbourne. And we're actually so excited because we're at Jamie and Danielle's
Danny's.
salon, which
Oh.
is us, yeah. So that's pretty booked out. We could take one person. If anyone watching would love to come to Melbourne this weekend, then there is a possibility of a spot there. We'd love to have you, of course. And then we're going to Perth on the 22nd and 23rd of October.
Okay, that's when we're going.
Yeah, that's when we're going to Perth. See what I mean? So you can go to my Instagram and there's a link in the Insta and you can go there and check out the classes. Have a great read. There's so much that we're going to pack into those days. We would really love to see you there.
Yeah, awesome.
Amazing. Guys, 30 minutes. It goes so
30
fast.
minutes of power, done.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tick.
Yeah.
Thank you to you both for your time, number one, and for your honesty and your openness and just kind of sharing your process and your journey. I think it's really insightful and inspiring for people who are either in salon or wanting to shoot or thinking about education or just maybe learning hair and new to industry. Maybe just one tip from each of you. I always go over time. Jared's going to kill me after. One tip each as a farewell to the live.
From a little thing, a big thing grows.
Boom.
I was going to say my mum said that to my dad. And mine would be your life is written in pencil.
Oh, both great. Love that.
Jared, really? You can rub it out, mate. It's all right. We can start again. Our hair was...
Is that really if it's not right? You can
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a go.
Amazing. Love it.
We love you too.
Aww. Feeling the love. Feeling the
Mocha.
heart. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's easy.
I love her. I was about to say, I look like a vagina.
So, love her. Well, similar.
Keep it PG, you like it PG.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Bye.
We'll be-
Yeah.
Peace out.
Bye, everyone.